Are you married, single, or in a situationship? I know, right? You're trying to understand what is a situationship. I always ask this question whenever I'm doing a session or I'm about to give a talk. Yeah, I know there's another status, which is divorce, widow, and all that. But for me, I am more focused on people in a situationship. And many, many times people wondering, what is a situationship? Well, today I am going to explain to you exactly what a situationship is and the telltale signs to know whether you're in a situationship or not. My name is Getrude Mungai. I'm a lifestyle designer on sex and relationships. And this is Marriage is a Scam with a cherry on top. I know it's got nothing to do with marriage, but this is my point. Many times people are caught up in a relationship, in a situationship, and that situationship drags on and on and on, and then they get married. Sorry, they get pregnant. Yeah, when they get pregnant, they decide to get married. But when they get married, they don't end the situationship and start the marriage on a clean slate. They drag on their situationship for the longest time. And then you're the same people who are screaming all over the place, take off to social media, complaining that marriage is a scam. Ama, you have been scammed in a marriage because you did not observe the rules. So here we are. I decided to turn this into a topic. My name is Getrude Mungai. I'm a lifestyle designer on sex and relationships. So, what exactly is a situationship? A situationship is uncommitted, undefined relationship between two people, romantic relationship between two people. As in, the two people have decided, they've not decided, they're in a relationship which is, they're not committed to each other. The rules are not defined, they're just there. I'm sure you're wondering if this is the same as a friends with benefit kind of relationship. No, it's not. These two relationships are different because in friends with benefits, the two people have agreed to be friends and have sexual benefits. So they know what they are in for. Okay. They have avoided all the, in friends with benefits, they have avoided all the other shenanigans which come with a proper relationship. To them, it's like a booty call. We are friends, but once in a while or all the time, we enjoy sex with one another. But in a situationship, nothing has been discussed, nothing has been defined. It's just rolling. Yeah. And sometimes a situationship can end up being a good relationship later. You know, sometimes when you meet someone, you know, you're not sure whether you want to get into a relationship with this person or not. And maybe you engage in sex, but you don't know whether where this is going. And then before you realize, the rules are defined, decided. Either person has proposed, can you be my official girlfriend? Can we have exclusivity? And then it moves on to a proper relationship. Now you're dating and you're steady. But some people stay in a situationship for a very long time until one person gets tired. So, how do you know you are in a situationship? So, these are the telltale signs of a situationship. Number one, you deal with inconsistency. Yeah. As in, we all know if you're not living together and you're dating or you're going out and you're steady, over the weekend, that's the time for everybody to hook up, you know, over the weekend. But you're not sure whether you're hooking up with this person or not. And sometimes you call them and they say, oh, by the way, I'm at my sister's wedding. Really, if you're in a relationship with someone, you will know if their sisters are getting married, and chances are you will be invited for that particular wedding. Or you call them over the weekend and they tell you, oh, my friends, some friends are visiting. The friends who came over, you can't come. You always don't know what you're up against, you know? So you can't tell whether you are going to see this person today or not, you see them over the weekend or not, or see them next month. If that's how your relationship has been, imagine you're in a situationship. Number two, you don't use labels. The honey, the bay, you know, those pet names people use, or girlfriend, boyfriend. In fact, when you meet, if you're together and you meet someone, it creates such awkward moments because you don't know how to introduce this person. Is he your boyfriend? Is he your girlfriend? Is he your CFA? Or what is he? And most of the time, you even avoid interactions with other people because you're not using labels. And even when you pick the phone to call, you know, even maybe you use first names with each other, as in they're not labels. That's also one of the telltale signs that you actually are in a situation. Or you call somebody, you introduce somebody as this is my girlfriend, they freak out because it's the first time, or maybe you said it to other people before you said it to her or said it to him. You are in a situationship. Another thing which actually tells you you're in a situationship is you haven't made it exclusive. Yeah, it's not official that you're in an open relationship, because even open relationship, people sit down and agree that we are in an open relationship and these are the kind of people we can date. I hear rules are defined, but with this, there's no exclusivity. Sometimes people are temporarily trying things out, or they're in between relationship. They've just broken up with the person they were in a relationship with. I don't want to call them an ex because they're not exes yet. They're just on a break for one reason or another. And then the ex comes back. You look for this person and realize, oh, they're already in another relationship, or they were in a relationship, they're on a break and had a situationship with you. So there's no exclusivity. Yeah, you see them going out, or they call you, they tell you, hey, yeah, where were you over the weekend? I looked for you all over the place. You're not picking my calls. Like, I went out with my friends, and that friend ended up in the house, and they ended up having sex. As in, there is no exclusivity. Another heartbreaking, a situation when you're in a situationship is you lack emotional connection with this person. They don't commit, or you're afraid of committing to them because the rules are not defined. You don't just throw yourself at this person because you're afraid they're going to hurt you. So those are the telltale signs for you to tell whether you're in a situationship or not. But let me tell you I why I decided to do this particular topic. Majority, many times, women are the ones who end up hurting in this kind of relationship, because when women get into a relationship, they dive in, no breaks, head first, and sometimes the guy is nice, especially if you're giving him sex, you're cooking for him, you're picking up, cleaning for him. He's not gonna say no. Most people enjoy that kind of treatment. They'll take you out once in a while, but they've not really asked you to be officially to be your girlfriend, or you've not even asked them officially to be their boyfriend. So you find yourself in a situation. And then why I say women hurt, because sometimes it's not the guy's fault. Umejipeleka na ukajipeleka na ukajipeleka. So it's not the guy's fault. There's this saying where people say, men don't heal the whole. As rude as it sounds, it's actually very true. Men don't heal the whole. If you come across a guy who has suffered a heartbreak, half the time they don't know how to heal, or they don't take the time to heal. And because he's such a nice guy, women always come along. Because he's such a nice guy, he doesn't say no. But he's not committing to you emotionally. He doesn't give you exclusivity. And he doesn't define the terms of engagement. Because that time, he's not healing. He doesn't want to get into a relationship. So he ends up hoeing. And how can I explain what hoeing is? So at least you don't get offended. Hoeing is when a guy is sleeping with a girl, with a lady, The lady expects something he doesn't. To him is umejileta. You know the way I'm telling you, sometimes wanawake wanaweza kujileta too. Yeah, and there's actually a joke people saying, oh, unaanza na kiatu, you just forget your shoe. Next time you go, you take the other shoe, and before you realize that your clothes are in the house. And because you're giving him sex, like I said, you're cooking for him, and actually you buy a few things in the house, he's not saying anything. Yeah, and you give yourself for sex, he will have sex with you 1,001 times. When you start demanding, for either definition in this relationship, or you want the terms to be defined, that's when he realizes, he says, you know what? I'm not ready for commitment. And then you start asking yourself, what the hell were we doing all this time? He was hoeing. You brought yourself to him. So you find yourself in a situation. And I'm so sick and tired of picking after pieces. Just the other day, a lady calls me and tells me they've been going out with this guy for 2 years. He was picking up, he was healing. He used her to heal, ended up hoeing, like I said. And this lady was in it too deep, invested emotionally. So she was wondering, why isn't he committing? I've done everything for him. He even had a child. I loved his child. I actually helped take care of I even did school visits. And now, 2 years later, he's telling me he's not ready for a relationship. What were we doing all this time? You are in a situationship. He was hoeing. It's as simple as that. As rude and cruel that sounds, that's how it is. Yeah? It would have helped. You can't be in a situationship for 6 months. You'll be able to pick up the pieces if there's no sex involved. Because I've never met a lady who was in a situationship, gave herself totally and completely, came out of it, and they're able to just pick up the pieces and move on. I've never met somebody who's done that. Yeah? The suffering is just too much. So, my dear sisters, probably you're younger than me and you're listening to me. And I'm telling you as an older woman, it's not worth it. The other day I was giving a talk and somebody was telling me, how sure are you that your old-fashioned kind of advice will work for us? Things have changed. Have they? Have they? Are we still dealing with the same men? And right now, even the men right now have a lot more issues than the men before. Story for another day. As much as we think things change, the more they stay the same. Some rules are exactly the same. You understand what I'm saying? So before you get or give yourself sexually to any guy, make sure it's at your terms. And if it's not at your terms, make sure the rules are clearly defined what this is before start yapping all over the place. At the beginning, I said, some situationships end up being good relationship, which can move on to becoming marriages. Very few though. Do you want to take a chance? Don't you want to know from the get-go? I think you should. My name is Getrude Mungai. I'm a lifestyle designer on sex and relationships. I insist. I wish men will take time to heal. They are causing a lot of damage. Follow me on my social media platforms, on Twitter, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Better yet, please subscribe. I would really love to hear from you. Send me a message. Let me know what you think of this particular. Do you believe me when I say, do you agree with that statement? I'm not the one who came up with it. I saw it and I think it's true. That men don't heal, they hoe. And end up putting so many women in situationship. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.